Let's cut to the chase. We all relied on people at some stage in our lives. I was dependent on my family for a long time, living under their roof and financially, which meant that I had to abide and follow their rules, no questions. Where you going? Who you speaking to? What are you doing wasting your life? Constant pressure to conform to what they wanted. If I did not like something, tough. You have a problem with that? Leave. This ain't your house. You don't get to say how things go here. I get it. I was living in their house. Fair play. It got to the stage where enough was enough. That was the moment I decided to become reliant on myself, and I left home to embark on my own journey. It was one of the best decisions I made for my life. So in this video, I'll be sharing 3 powerful life lessons on self-reliance and how I use this in my personal journey to achieve freedom and fulfillment, and how you can too. No BS. The first lesson I learned is you need to learn how to manage your money. Look, most people don't talk about this, but I am, and I'm going to be real with you. There is no way you can be self-reliant if you don't know how to manage your own money. It will not work, full stop. When I was at university, I did not live out. Yes, I know people want to live out for many reasons, getting away from their parents and having the privacy. I get it. I lived at home for one reason and one reason only. It was to save money so I can use that money for a future purpose when the time called for it. I did not know what that purpose would be, but the least I can do is to start saving. I also had a part-time job and I was saving any extra income that was coming in. My expenses were quite low because I was living at home. During this period of time, it allowed me to understand the power of saving, especially when I had nothing and I had to start from zero. People these days are saying saving is for losers. Go and learn a skill and make money. Okay, let's unravel that. If you don't know how to manage and save your own money, how do you expect to do this when more money hits your bank account? Mike Tyson, considered to be one of the greatest heavyweight boxers of all time, had once a net worth of more than $400 million. He generated vast amounts of wealth but came away with nothing, blowing away his $400 million fortune. He spent money on exotic animals, expensive jewelry, limos, hookers, drugs, and would buy countless gifts for his friends, from Rolex watches to expensive cars. I'm just naming a few here. This was a person who was extremely wealthy but lost it all because he had no idea how to manage the vast money that was coming in. This is what he had to say: I was totally out of my league. I didn't know how to handle money, didn't know how to handle the people that were involved with me with my money. You see, money is a magnifier of your current habits. If you don't know how to manage the small things, there is no way you will be able to manage the big things. It's a fact of life. Next time you hear people say saving is for losers, take it with a pinch of salt. It's all contextual and relative to the person. If you're planning to move out, buy a house, make an investment, learn a new qualification, whatever it is, but you don't have much money or you can't afford it, learn how to start saving smartly. Note down on a spreadsheet all the expenses that you pay on a monthly basis. Then you look through your list and cross out the ones that you don't need and brings no value to your life. For example, do you need to take an Uber all the time as opposed to taking public transport? You can save a good amount there. Do you need to eat 5 times a week? Why not 1 to 2 times a week? You will save a good amount there. Do you need all those subscriptions? Do you need to have an expensive monthly car payment? Really be honest here. You are only lying to yourself if you can't face the truth. Once you do this, you'll be surprised and shocked how much you have cut down and saved. That money now goes into a saving pot and you do not touch it. You do this on a monthly basis and you will see your pot increase in value. This is a start of how you manage your money. As you build your pot, you'll have a substantial amount of money that will give you the freedom to do what you want to do without relying on others. This is you being independent. The second lesson I learned is you need to have a goal. When I was living at home, I was still working a normal 9-to-5 job. During that time, I quickly realized that this was not for me and I needed a different goal and different vision that would bring the best out of me. Starting and running a business from zero was my ticket out. I knew this path would be more challenging and I will come across a lot of obstacles on the way, but at the same time, it will be more fulfilling. The feeling of pursuing this was far greater than the feeling of my current situation, and that enabled me to take the plunge. This gave me the courage and confidence to leave my family and move out. I said this to myself: I'm going to do this on my own and do whatever it takes to make sure that it works. Because of this, I had to be self-reliant. No one else was going to do it for me, which meant I had to be responsible, take the blame, adapt, control my emotions, build a thicker skin, persevere and be resilient. When things got hard, and they got really hard, I did not go back or ask for help. I was the one who made the decision, therefore I deal with the consequences of those decisions. Call it ego or pride, but the way I looked at it is I decided to leave. I decided to take the risk, no one else. So I am responsible for my actions. My word is my bond. Having a vision for myself of where I wanted to be and what I wanted to do allowed me to become more self-reliant because I knew this was my goal. And for me to make make it a reality meant that I had to do everything myself at the beginning to get it up and running. You'll be amazed and surprised of how self-reliant you can be when you are chasing your own dreams and goals. If you are lost and have no idea what your goal or vision is, start with these 4 steps that will get you on the right path. Just so you know, this is what I did and use this to start my own education company. The first step is to write down what your values and interests are. What brings you the most fulfillment when doing it? What is it that you are passionate about? The reason why I say this is what you enjoy doing will be like play to you, but to someone else will feel like work, which means you can outlast the other person on a long-term basis. The second step from there is to identify what your strengths are. What are you good at? What is it that you can do that seems simple to you but to others is difficult? This will help you to differentiate yourself from others, especially if you can hone on that strength. The third step is to brainstorm potential avenues that you can go to that will match your strengths with your values and interests. If you are able to intersect your interest with your strengths, then you found what you've been looking for. And the fourth step is to create an action plan so you can start going on the path of achieving the goal and vision you now have found for yourself. Now you have the answer of how to get what you want. The question is, are you willing to do this to achieve the life and success that you want for yourself? Only you can make that decision. The third lesson I learned is to follow through what you say. Now you know how to save and manage your money. Now you know what your goal and vision is. The next part is you must follow through what you say you're going to do. 99% of people that's watching this video would take this information but take no action. Very few will follow through and stay consistent at their craft to achieve their goals. 7 years ago, I had to go and see my father for the first time in over 15 years. He was extremely ill and was in a coma. I had to go to Paris to see him. This was when I was just starting the business. Talk about perfect timing. It was the hardest thing I ever had to do to confront him because he was absent all those years in my life. I did not want to see him. The fear completely was engulfing me to not go and see him because I was just so scared. I was so fearful. I did not know how he looked. I did not know how he would speak. It just completely paralyzed me. But this will be for another video. The point here is that when coming back from Paris to the UK, I was finished. All the emotions and trauma I went through completely drained me. I had nothing in my tank. I was an empty soul. Now bear in mind, the next day I had to show up for work to run the business and had a lot of things to take care of. I could have taken a few days off after going through that traumatic experience, but I did not. I showed up the next day and carried on as normal. I did not say anything to anyone. This is going to sound a bit extreme, but for me, if I said I'm going to do something, I will follow through it, no matter what. It's just the way I'm wired, and if I don't follow through, I will feel guilty and beat myself up for not doing it. Now I'm not saying that you have to be this level of extreme. I'm just using this as an example that when you say you're going to do something, follow through it. Hold yourself accountable. If you are able to stick it through, you will become a respected leader in your circle, someone who others want to rely on and look up to, because they know there aren't that many people out there who will follow through what they say they're going to do. They see you as a person of action, not just words. You do what you say you're going to do, no matter what the circumstances are. So what are you waiting for? Go and be the success that you can be and achieve greatness. Everything starts from zero. When are you going to start? Peace.